To evade the police, the man didn't hesitate to submerge himself in the freezing water, barely daring to breathe. Moments later, a robotic spider deployed by the police slowly crawled into the room through the gap beneath the door. Since Jim remained perfectly still underwater, the machine failed to detect any human body heat. Just as it was about to leave, Jim, having held his breath for as long as he could, accidentally let out a tiny air bubble. A nearly inaudible sound was instantly picked up by the robotic spider. The next second, it turned back and summoned dozens of its companions. Within moments, scores of robotic spiders crawled to the edge of the bathtub and unleashed powerful electric shocks into the water, forcing Jim to surface. Faced with such an overwhelming barrage of high-voltage electricity, he had no chance of escaping. To survive, he had no choice but to comply. He removed the bandage covering his eye, and the robotic spiders immediately scanned his retina, transmitting his identity to police headquarters in real time. After comparing the scan with the database, the system confirmed that Jim was not the fugitive they were searching for, and the police immediately recalled all the robotic spiders. An hour earlier, Jim had undergone a complete eye transplant, which allowed him to fool the police's retinal identification system. Just the day before, Jim had been a police officer who had personally arrested countless criminals, but his remarkable success wasn't due solely to his investigative skills. It was because the police had the help of 3 extraordinary women. The women spent their lives suspended in nutrient tanks and possessed the ability to foresee the future. They were known as the precogs. Using their visions, the police established a specialized pre-crime unit that reduced the city's murder rate to 0. Whenever the precogs foresaw an impending murder, the information was transmitted through neural interfaces and recorded onto 2 wooden balls. One ball bore the name of the future killer, while the other carried the name of the intended victim. At the same time, images of the predicted crime were projected onto a large screen. Using those visions, Jim could determine the exact location where the murder would occur and arrive before the crime was committed, arresting the suspect before anyone was killed. However, this system had sparked widespread controversy because many suspects were imprisoned simply for intending to commit murder, even though they had never actually acted on those thoughts. To address growing public criticism, the Department of Justice assigned a federal agent to investigate the pre-crime program. The agent raised a simple question: if a suspect changed their mind before committing the murder, shouldn't that person avoid arrest altogether? Instead of answering directly, Jim casually tossed a wooden ball across the room. The agent instinctively reached out and caught it. Jim then explained that the suspect was like the wooden ball. Once it started rolling, if no one reached out to stop it, it would inevitably hit the ground. In the same way, once a person formed the intent to kill, failing to intervene in time would likely end in tragedy. The agent remained unconvinced. He then questioned the reliability of the precog's predictions and demanded access to the secure chamber so he could meet the 3 precogs in person. Jim refused on the spot, explaining that only the caretakers assigned to the precogs and the highest-ranking officials in the police department were authorized to enter. The agent didn't argue any further. Instead, he produced a search warrant signed by the Department of Justice. With that document, his investigation extended everywhere from the police headquarters to even the White House if necessary. Having no legal grounds to refuse, Jim reluctantly cooperated. As the head of the pre-crime unit, he personally unlocked the door to the secure chamber.